What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Beacon, presented by LightHouse Young Adult Ministry, our conversation series that revolves around young adults being a beacon in their communities and in their lives and with their parents in school and work, and just being a beacon everywhere they go. This series specifically targets people 18 to 35 years old who can shine a light on a given topic or a chosen profession. And we are excited about our guest for today. If you are in Evanston, you probably know who she is, probably, in these streets. It is my sister. She is a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a mom, a friend, minister, everything. She even got a new business that she started. She is the one and only Miss Shaleka Smith. Hey, sis, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain. I am breathing on my own.
But that's come on and inhale and exhale.
That's all. Hey, yeah, boy. That's all I need. That's all I need.
That's all you need. Everything else is extra. Come on.
That's funny. Oh, it's gonna be fun today. Well, we are excited to have you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me, tapping in with me, and having this conversation. May, we had the wonderful Mother's Day earlier this month. We just came through it. So this series, this episode is called Stronger Motherhood. Because the word for the year for LightHouse is stronger. And we just went through Mother's Day, but we're gonna combine the two, and we're gonna talk about stronger motherhood. So I want you to kind of intro yourself, tell the people who you are, what church you belong to, where you're from, all that good energy. For those who don't know you like I do.
Well, first, giving honor to God, who is the head of my life. Ain't that how you're supposed to start?
Lord.
I am Shaleka Smith. I am born and raised in Chicago, associate minister at First Church of God Christian Life Center, where the senior pastor is Pastor Monte L.G. Dillard. That is my pastor. Thank you to him for releasing me and allowing me to participate and, go out into the world and do ministry. Totally appreciate him. I currently work for an FQHC in administrative services, working with provider and board relations. I am a mother of one, godmother of three. I am a daughter, an aunt, and a friend to many. I have been hanging out with LightHouse for a while now. Absolutely enjoy. Come on, a little bit, just a little bit. Definitely enjoy the fellowship. We've had an opportunity to collaborate our First Church Bridge Ministry and LightHouse, and I have kind of eased on into LightHouse ever since. So I totally enjoy the fellowship. I enjoy meeting with you guys, and thank you for having me.
No, for sure. Absolutely. But you have been a blessing to the ministry. And yes, I remember we connected originally when we were collaborating both our young adult ministry with Second Baptist and First Church. And you all had the bridge ministry going on. And then you, like you said, you kind of eased on down the road and you was like, come on. And we welcomed you with open arms. So we are excited that you kept rocking with us. And we're hoping we are instilling a space where you could take what you learn and get and talk about in LightHouse and take it back to First Church. So you're able to benefit that ministry that you all got going on there as well. So yeah, man, good energy, good stuff. So we're gonna get right on in this thing. And I want to know, what is Shaleka's definition of motherhood?
I would say motherhood to me is the conscious decision to play a role as a mother to somebody. Everybody isn't necessarily a mother biologically. We have stepmothers, we have godmothers, we have adopted parents, we have foster parents, but it's the conscious decision to be a mother. And we also have times where there are biological moms that want to have nothing to do with it. So it's really about a choice and a position that you decide to take and see it through, in my opinion.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. I love it. I will take your opinion because, you know, I'm not a mother. So, so I think your opinion is valid. I think your opinion is valid. So thank you. Um, so all of us growing up in our lives, whether we come from a single parent household, a dual parent household, whether we're raised by aunts or grandparents or the family friend, the neighbor, who whatever type of upbringing we've had, we all are have certain type of tools or ideas or thoughts about how you're supposed to parent. Whether it's direct and they tell you you're supposed to do this, that, and the third, or if you just from you seeing it and you taking it in about what's being done, whether that's good or bad. So what type of tools was instilled in you from an early age about parenting?
Well, I'm definitely grateful that I had a village growing up. I definitely had a lot of moms. Even this past Mother's Day, I had to pay homage to all of my mamas. But my mother, Mary Carr, my biological mother, Mary Carr, was a hard worker. When I tell you the work ethic that this woman has had my entire life, that's definitely been beneficial for me at work, and commitment to whatever I do, definitely sticking to something. And when you are responsible for something, that's it. You just responsible for it, and you have to see it from beginning to end. And it's not being a mother. It's not a situation in which you can pawn off responsibilities to other people. Like when you are mom, you are the disciplinarian, you are the provider, you are the comforter, you are the protector. You are a lot of different things, and you have to take whatever comes, because parenting is like so many different variables, and you never know what's going to come. There's no blueprint. Everything is going to be different, and everybody's situation is different. But making sure that you are teaching your children what you want them to grow to be, I think is completely important. So making sure you're instilling good work ethic, integrity is so important, making sure that you're giving them all of that as they grow up. And I'm so grateful for my mom and then the women that she had around me. I could start naming them all, but it was so many different women that taught me so many different things. And I appreciate it because now I'm able to give it to my baby, and she has her own village as well of people to pour into her and teach her things. So sometimes all your tools don't necessarily come from one place. And that's important to know too, because as a parent, you are not going to have it all. And that's why you have a community. That's why, there you have the church, you have, support systems around you. But make sure you give them some tools, because you don't want them to get old and then you like, I ain't nothing. Can I send this one back? Nope, it's all
right. Return to sender. No, but that's real though, because so I was raised in a single parent household. My mom raised me with help from my aunt. So I was raised by women through and through.
The great missionary. Come on.
Here you go. So, but she understood that with her being a woman, she was limited in how and what she could give me as a mother. She could give me everything she had, but she also knew that there were limits on what she was taught. Because a parent, a mother can only teach you as much as they've been taught. They can't instill inside of you stuff they don't know themselves. So she was adamant about trying to surround me with people who had certain tools and certain skill sets that she might not have, or that she might want to have. So she might put us both in a room with somebody, but she can learn too.
Come on, so, let's learn this together.
Exactly.
That is so great.
Exactly. So, so that village is key. and uplifting someone, like a parent who's doing it by themselves, or even a dual household. Everybody doesn't know everything, so they need help sometimes. So that village is key. And making sure your child, your young person, or even adult, grows up to be an outstanding member of society.
On them law-abiding citizens. That's what we look
There
at.
it is. There it is. Law abiding. No jail time. No tickets. Nothing.
Oh, that's so great. I think even understanding the importance of co-parenting, because there's so many different situations. Everybody isn't necessarily, there's divorce, there's people who never got married, single parenting, but really understanding that if you have been selected either, biologically you have responsibility as a parent, or if God has just put a child in your life, like you got to play that out to the end. That is such a great responsibility. And God trusted you with that responsibility. God ain't just out here giving assignments to people that can't handle them.
Right. Absolutely.
Knowing that it's something in you that kid needs, whether it is your biological child, a niece, a nephew, there's something in you that you can pour into that child, and it will make such a big difference.
For sure. Absolutely. So, in 2020 was a year for the books, right? So much happened. We had experienced all different types of shifts. We experienced loss. We experienced delayed things like graduations and all types of stuff happening. And then what we call Auntie Rona. She came and was being disrespectful all throughout the year. So I want to know, how did COVID-19 and Auntie Rona and her disrespect, how did that affect you as your role as a parent?
You got to spend a lot of time with your child. When she goes to CPS, when the schools were first shut down, I was like, I didn't become a teacher for a reason. So even like challenges, and it was like bad because we were in the house. So that of course was disappointing, but it was so good in terms of communication and conversation and really being in each other's space. Because you work all day, they go to school, you come home, you might have dinner, depending on what night it is, you might be at different activities. So we really don't necessarily always spend a lot of time with our children. So it was like a time of like getting to know her in a different way. It was really interesting. And my daughter's 14, so she's in that like beginning of teenage years. So we had a lot to talk about. We had a lot to talk about. And it was so unique because she had went to Christian school primarily most of her childhood education, and 7th grade year she went to public school. And baby, the experiences in public school is a little bit different than the Christian school.
A little different.
So even like navigating through, her social environment and even learning and responsibility and different things like that, I felt more accountable because I was it. Like I was the teacher, I was the everything. So it was all on me. So I think it definitely made me step my game up a little bit in terms of parenting, because it's not like, well, the teacher gonna handle it. That's the teacher job. No, baby, you as the teacher, you as the principal,
it's you.
You the janitor, you as the lunch lady, like it's all of it right now, and even navigating my own job. So it was definitely, but we had great conversations. We had time to just talk through things. I got to learn a little bit about, things that she had been exposed to at school that I wasn't necessarily, didn't know about, and got to kind of see how she learns and how she thinks, and how she kind of, processes things. So it's definitely been an adventure. I would definitely say it's been an adventure. And I can't say that I would change it. I know that being in the house was challenging for a lot of people, but I think that it was beneficial. Because I think we there's also this notion of like, sometimes you feel like you can't talk to your parents about things. And I think we're in a place where, you know, she don't know how I'm going to react, but she's comfortable at least initiating the conversation about certain things. And I'm so grateful for that. And that took just us kind of being in each other's face all the time.
No, for sure, for sure. So when it comes to take into account the world we live in right now, and everything going on, what are your views on discipline and how you discipline your child? Different people have different types of views, and it could be a taboo a taboo topic sometimes, on discipline and what that looks like and how to customize it. And do you whoop your child? Do you spank them? Do you put them in the corner? Like all different types of, all different forms of discipline. So what's your view on that? And does the color of your skin play a role in that at all?
Well, we can start with the color of the skin first.
Okay.
You know, in the African American community, we whooped kids.
With anything you can find. With anything you can find.
One of the, I can honestly say I haven't had to whoop my kid a lot. I've been very grateful. I practiced the I at a very early age. So I can look at her and she be like, something ain't right. I don't know what ain't right, but I'm gonna just sit here until she's not looking at me like I'm crazy anymore. So I mastered
the infamous look. The infamous look.
I definitely mastered the look. But one of the things that I have been very conscious of is I don't want for it to be a lot of disciplining, but having a lot of teachable moments. Like, let's have a conversation and let me tell you what you did wrong, because you might not think you did anything wrong. Let me tell you what was wrong about it and what you could have done differently. Now, if I have to have a lot of those conversations, I'm definitely pulling out my belt. But I've been blessed to not have to do it a lot. But I think that there's balance. I don't think all physical discipline is needed. And sometimes you have to do more than talk, but I think you have to find your balance. And what else is important is I think as a parent, I only have one, but I know even with working with children in my life, everybody is different. You have to parent different. So what I do over here at 1253 can't necessarily be what you do, at where you live. You have to know your children and know what they respond to. My daughter responds very well to conversations. So I'm able to have a conversation with her and teach her the lesson that, someone else might feel that they need to whoop their child with. So I would say in terms of discipline, know your children and know what they respond to. If they respond to some bass in your voice, then put some bass in your voice. But if if they respond better to a little tap on the butt, then tap them on the butt, but know your child and don't continue to use a method of discipline that you're not getting the result that you want to get. So you have to continue it because they're not learning and you're not. You're wasting your energy. So I would say, everybody, figure out what works for your child and what goes in your home. Because what I do over here, you can't do over there. But I'm for a little whooping if there's the need.
No, for sure. I think that's a good word, to be able to customize whatever form of discipline you see fit to for your child. Because just because you grew up getting a certain type of discipline, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be the same effect or be as beneficial as it was for you growing up for your child. Especially because we're in different times than what we were when we grew up. This isn't the 80s or the 90s. This isn't even the 2000s no more. This is the 2020s. So it's a different age, it's a different time, and all things that used to work back in the day aren't necessarily as beneficial. Or
it might not be all the time, but let me tell you something. Sometimes I have conversations with my mamas and they be like, you giving her a lot of choices, like you still the mama. So listen to your elders. Everything they did wasn't wrong.
You're right.
Listen to your elders. I am so grateful for mothers at church, all my godmothers, and just like I want to do it my way, but I so see the benefit. And now that she's getting older, especially benefit in the things in terms of discipline and behaviors and conduct that they have taught me. I definitely see it now. When they little, stuff be cute. Then they get older.
It ain't cute no more.
It ain't cute no more. So learning how to make sure that like we ain't throwing everything the elders taught us away.
Right. No, for sure.
Because they didn't come out that bad. So something they was doing was right,
For sure.
But just pick what works for you.
And not even them. We ain't come out that bad. So
most of them. Take a poll.
Oh, the shade and the beacon. That's why we have the beacon. We're gonna be a light, not a shady light. Okay. So speaking of the light, how do you find joy in being specifically a Black mom in today's society?
I think we are, as time goes on, we are living in a world where we see so much of what women can do and what Black women can do. And it's so inspiring. It's like, I might just be raising the next president. Like I might just be raising somebody that's going to cure something that somebody else couldn't. Like the joy is I am participating in the development of somebody that's going to be great. And that is exciting. And I get to see them grow. Like she's about to graduate from 8th grade. And I'm like, I just had you yesterday. But just to like see her grow and develop and to know I had a part in that. And just to see her navigate through life and, learning, making mistakes, learning from them, and just being a part of that. And that's the beauty of parenting. Like you really get to watch somebody grow from beginning to end,
No, for sure.
Okay,
absolutely.
great.
That's beautiful. What would you say that this time during COVID and all these conversations and space that you created with your daughter that you didn't have before, and just time in the world, how has this time made you stronger as a mother and in general?
As a mother, I think that it has given me more respect for other mothers. When you are not a mom, when you a kid, you be like, I'm gonna be a better parent than my parents. Like, especially when you mad, you be like, I ain't gonna do my kids like
that. Right.
And then you have them, and then you be like, oh, that's why my mom was like
that's
that.
Why. I get it now.
I get it now. So definitely like knowing that it's a struggle and people have so many different circumstances in which they're attempting to raise children, and it's all different and it's not always, a bed of roses, but doing it and being committed to it and seeing it through. I think I appreciate and seeing moms, and not just moms, but parents in general, just pushing through the different dynamics, pushing through struggles, because it can be challenging and it's a lot of pressure. Because literally, you're like, this is my responsibility. Like, if this kid like turns out to be like a serial killer, that is on me.
That's on me.
on my fault. So just like knowing that what you are putting in there, every seed that you plant, all the love that you give is going to carry them throughout their lives, throughout their adulthoods, when they go off into the work field, like everything that you pour into them. And I appreciate even when people don't necessarily have they weren't given the right tools, because we talked about toolboxes later, but you said, your mom, she didn't always have the tools, but she knew where to get them from. Exactly. So even if I don't have what my kid needs, I'm not going to let them lack. And that's so important. Even if I have to pay for extra tutoring, even if I have to send them off like to live with another family in the summertime just to have different exposure. Like, you know, people used to send their kids down south. That's okay. We still can send them somewhere. You know, I've done it plenty of summers. But sending them somewhere so they can see other things, because you have to expose your children to something so that when they get out in the world, they not like, oh, that's nice.
Exactly. No. Yeah. They have some type of understanding of it beforehand.
Absolutely, because one of the things that and what differs from my mom versus me is there were some things me and my mom didn't talk about, but the same things I'd be like, I'm gonna talk to Molly about, because I don't want her to have conversations with her friends about it, and they be telling some stuff they don't Google, because Google is the devil. These kids today,
and Wikipedia, nah.
Like, I want you to have to Google anything. I want to teach you. And that's value, because then when they're older, it's like, my mom taught me this, or my mom taught me that, or my mom, you know, I didn't learn it from my friends who gave me the wrong direction, and then I had this youthful struggle. You know, I made youthful decisions because I wasn't given the right direction. So you have to definitely know that. You know, it says train a child up from where they should go. And when they're older, they won't depart of them. Now they're going to have a little fun, but they'll definitely come back. Like my mom instilled Jesus in me. And I had my years where I was out here and she was praying with the intercessors at the church. But, you know, I'm back. I'm back to where I'm supposed to be. And I trust that everything that I'm pouring into my child, no matter what way she might go, she going to come back. Because the word of God won't return void. So
that's it. Huh? It's in the book. Huh?
Listen.
I read it somewhere, huh? No.
The I and the V.
Huh?
The King James. The message if you need it. Come on.
The message has a message for you, huh? No. No, that's awesome though. That's awesome. I'm happy that has been the takeaway that you took from this season. And that's a powerful one. That's a powerful one that you might not have gotten had this season not happened. So that's dope. So we have a section in the Beacon that we like to affectionately call Light It Up. These are okay, we got dances. Okay, I never said dance, light it up. Okay. So
why not?
I mean, hey, first time for everything. So Light It Up is pretty much rapid fire questions. So I have 3 questions for you. I want you to say the first thing that comes to your mind. Don't think too hard. Don't hurt yourself. Okay. And just answer these questions to the best of your ability as fast as you can. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. So the first one, if you were to write a book about yourself, what would you name it?
Baby, I made it.
That's a bestseller.
BEEE. I made it. Come on.
With 3 E's, one for the Father, one for the Holy Ghost, and for the Son.
Don't forget the Son. Come on.
I know the Son was coming. No, the Son was coming. I flipped it on you. I flipped it, huh? Oh. Okay. Okay. That's a bestseller. That's a New York Times bestseller already.
Come on. Speaking into existence. And I published it with my publishing company. Come on.
That's it. I say, huh? Self-made, self-published, independent, huh? Number 1. Huh? Okay.
We're having too much fun. This is too much fun.
It'd be like that sometimes. In a perfect world, what would your dream sources of income be? And you better not say what you said before.
I won't say what I said before. A publishing company. My publishing bestsellers.
Okay.
Multiple bestsellers, not one hit wonders. Multiple bestsellers. That is what
those things, huh?
That's what is. That's not a dream. That is reality, and it's coming.
That's a reality.
Come on.
I just want you to say that. I just want to say I knew her. I knew her at the beginning. I just say just hey, just say hey Alex, listen, remember my name.
Benefit from it too, because if I eat, we all eat.
I'm hungry. Come on, let's eat. Come on, let's go.
We all eat.
Okay. So, how do you, Shaleka, define success as a parent?
Okay, this ain't gonna be no rapid answer. So
okay, that's fine.
Need extra minutes. So think about Mustang. So the first Mustang came out with 1964. The model of the Mustang in 1964 does not look like the model of the Mustang in 2021. It's evolved. So parenting is supposed to evolve from generation to generation. There's supposed to be enhancements. It might look the same because you always gonna know a Mustang when you see it, but there's different features that change. So I look like my mom and my daughter looks like me, but generation after generation, there's supposed to be enhancements. And I think if you are conscious and intentional about making sure that the generation coming after you is better than you, that's how you're a successful parent. That's how you know you're doing something different. Because if they're just doing the same thing you did, the same thing your mama did, the same thing your great grandmama did, like ain't no growth in your generation, that's a curse, baby. But what we looking for is generational blessings and generational advancement. So that 1964 version, it was good, but make sure that 2021 is much better.
Yes, God, huh? And you know what, boys and girls? I think that's how we gonna end this thing, because that was a word, huh? I hope you received it. Whether you are a mother, a father, a grandmother, I hope you got that word, huh?
Come on, be the Mustang.
Be the Mustang. That's you don't say nothing else from this conversation. Be the Mustang, huh? That's the quote. We're gonna put that in the. We're gonna drop that in the description box. Be the Mustang. That's gonna be the name of this episode.
But it's so true. I don't want her to be. I want her to don't have her to have the same challenges that I've had. I don't want her to. I want to tell her the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because one of the things that we do, especially in the Black community, like we not telling no details about nothing. Like we just don't do it. Or, or not even saying, hey, this is the proper way to do this. I did this. I made this bad decision. I don't want you to make this bad decision. I'm going to tell you what I did, what the consequences of it was, what I'm still trying to clean up today. Come on, because some of us are trying to clean up things that we done did in our early 20s, and we hitting on 40 and we still trying to clean it up. No, I don't want you to do what I did. I want to give you what maybe I feel like I didn't have it or I didn't utilize it, but I want you to be different. Every generation is supposed to be different. If you okay with your kids doing the same shenanigans you doing, you ain't doing it right.
Period.
You're not doing it right. You should want them to be better, and not a little bit better, like push them. The Bible talks about arrows, and when you come back and put your arrow out there, it's supposed to go further than you. Come on. I got that from my pastor.
Come on, Pastor Dylan. Come on.
You're supposed to put your child out. They're supposed to go further than you. So if you just let them stay there in the same environment, you ain't never took them nowhere. You ain't never did nothing with them. You don't read with them. You don't encourage them to read. What are you doing?
That's good.
You providing house and food. There is more to parenting than room and board. Come on.
That's a word.
There's more to parenting than room and board. It is a full-time job. It is a conscious decision to make sure that you are creating somebody and molding somebody and being, involved in somebody's life in which they can do great.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's
For
do
sure.
better.
Let's do better. Be the Mustang.
Come
Let's do
on.
better.
Be the Mustang. Don't be the 1964.
Don't
Don't even be the
no.
1985 Mustang.
Come on. Be the new model. Huh? Be the 2024. Be the 2024. Huh?
Now they ain't made the way they was back in the day. Like we definitely, our kids now, they're a little soft in some way. They not, you know, they ain't like Big Mama.
They're not as durable, huh? They're not as durable. Huh?
But we can make them to be. We can teach them and make them to be. But you know, it takes effort and conscious effort, intentionality, and commitment. You cannot when they turn 18, I'm done with them, people. We rebuke it.
In the name. Huh?
I told my I'm going to college with you. Listen, you might leave me, but
she said, Mom, sit down.
She like, please don't. Please. You know, Molly, she'd be like, please don't.
Like, please.
But you know, whatever it takes. So if it takes you holding on to them a little bit longer than you would have anticipated, give them what they need. If it means you have to support them, not completely, you know, ain't nobody talking about supporting your 40-year-old son. Ain't nobody talking about that.
Yeah.
But if you have to hold on to them a little bit longer, do it because you want them to do. When you release them into the world, you want them to be ready for the world. And we know how cool the world can be. So why would it's like you just gonna release them to the wolves and you ain't prepared them for nothing?
Exactly.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Shame for shame.
Don't get me to preaching in here.
Here you go. Oh my gosh. Well, minister, sister, auntie, mama, Miss Smith, thank you for everything. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for the laughs. Thank you for education. Thank you for your opinion, your input, your love, your heart. Thank you. This was good. This was good. This was fun. So thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your willingness to hop on with me and cut up a little bit. We're gonna have to do this again. This ain't the first. This is the first time, but it ain't gonna be the last. So we don't have to. We have to do this
because we got some topics to talk about. Because in a year from now, there's gonna be some books coming out. Come on,
huh? Come on. We're gonna have a book release on the beacon. Come on, book release, huh? I can't wait. I can't wait
either. I can't either.
That's funny, but thank you. Cool. All right, y'all, viewers, listeners, family. Thank y'all for joining us for this episode of the Beacon called Stronger Motherhood with Miss Shaleka Smith. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. If y'all got anything from it, drop it in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, like, share with a friend, share with anybody who you may feel that this message can help. Whether it's a mother to be, of somebody who wants to be a mother, or just a parent in general. So this, even though it's called Stronger Motherhood, there's a lot of gems that we talked about today that can apply to both people. So make sure that you tap in with us, and we look forward to seeing you at the next episode next month. All right, love y'all. Go be a beacon in your world. Holla.